Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to User One Productions. My name is David, and in today's tutorial we are going to be covering the basics of a Slenderman AI system. If you guys come to enjoy today's video, please remember to drop me a like, subscribe if you're new, and click that notification bell so you don't miss another upload by me. Keep in mind, my friends, that every asset I've ever used, scripts, models, sound effects, etc. is linked on a Google Drive in the description, free for you guys to download and use in your projects. Something else in the description is our Discord with over 400 very talented and very helpful people in there to always answer questions or just to collab on projects with. Something else in the description which is brand new is the Patreon, so if you guys want to support me for only $5 a month, you get exclusive bonuses that the normal viewer would not be getting. With all that being said, guys, let's hop into Unity and go over the basics of a Slenderman AI. So here we are in our Unity project from the previous tutorial. If you guys haven't already watched those tutorials, I'm linking the playlist in the description as well. So I highly suggest you watch that to stay up to date with how this project is going. So looking at the scene right now, it is pretty dark. So what I'm going to do is actually turn off our post effects, and then I'm going to turn our fog off in our lighting settings, and then make sure this light bulb here is unticked so we can actually see what we're doing up here. From the file in the description, you will have a Slender tutorial _5, which what I'm going to do is bring in the Slenderman, which is going to be this untextured Slenderman model. We're going to make him a little bit bigger though, and rotate him looking towards the player, okay? And what we're going to do from there is actually go into the textures where we can find his material. Let's just click and drag that in, and now we have a textured Slenderman in our game. Okay, with that, let's go to the scripts folder inside the Slenderman _5 folder, and let's open it up, and I'm going to go over really quick how this script is working. So here we are in the Slenderman script. It's very basic, and we're just going to go over it really quick. I do have everything commented out, so that way you guys can actually go in and adjust stuff if you want to, or add stuff if you need to. So pretty much we have stuff set up to our player, so that way the Slenderman knows where the player is. It can teleport to a specific distance of the player. There's a cooldown for the teleporting, so it doesn't just keep teleporting all over the place. Inside the script, it also references its original origin place, so wherever we place it inside the editor is going to be called its home base. And pretty much it's going to be in a place where the Slenderman is not chasing us, and that is why we have a return cooldown. So we can change this number and it won't chase the player. I also have a slider right here that you guys can adjust through either other code or inside the editor, and it's its chase probability. So if we are starting the game, we want this probability to be pretty low, because in the beginning of the game, the Slenderman doesn't start chasing you until like the second page. So you guys can adjust the page script to change this value as you collect pages. A little rotation, so that way the Slenderman is always looking towards the player. Right here we have a teleport sound effect that will play. We have a public game object for the static object, which is going to be that static effect that goes over the camera. And then we have a range for when that static actually plays. And right here is that base teleport spot I was talking about earlier, which again is just its local position wherever it starts. And then we have a teleport timer, so we know it can teleport to the next spot after the cooldown. And then we actually have a bool if he is returning to base. So that's pretty much summed up everything in here. And if you guys want to read through the rest of this script, again, I have commented everything out so you know what it's doing. But we're going to go back into Unity, click and drag that Slenderman AI onto our Slenderman object, and let's start adjusting some of these values. So the player, we want to click and drag our player in. Teleport distance, let's do 15. Teleport cooldown, I'm going to keep it short so we can actually see it teleporting. We're going to do 2. Return cooldown, I'm going to do that to 12. The chase probability, I'll keep that pretty high for right now. We're going to do like 0.75, my mistake. Rotation speed, I'll keep it at 5, that seems to be working. And then we have a teleport sound effect, which again, inside your Slenderman tutorial 5, you'll find sounds and the teleport sound. And now we just need to add an audio source to the Slenderman so that way he can play the sound effects. We're going to keep it empty and make sure play on wake is turned off. And now we need to create this static game object. So the way we're going to make that static game object, we're going to go into our camera, right click, and go to 3D plane. We're going to call this static. We're going to rotate it up and place it right in front of the camera. So the pixel that comes in view from the camera, that is where it's going to be sitting at all times. I'm actually going to bring this up a little bit so we can see a little bit better. Now what we want to do is we want to scale it down. Not too much to where it, you could see the outline of the plane, but we just want to make it a little bit bigger than our screen. So right about there looks good. Let me turn gizmos off so I can actually look at it better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this fade material. So now it's kind of faded, the transparency is down. So if this isn't in your folder for some odd reason, Unity doesn't like downloading materials and importing them like this. So all you do is you create a material, have it to white, and then just change your transparency, which mine I'm going to keep at about 90. And then you want to make sure it is fade or it's transparent. I'm going to go with fade though. Next, what we're going to do, click on the static game object and add a component of video player. And I believe inside the textures, you'll find a static video clip, which we're going to put right there. Now, if we actually play the game, there's this static effect playing. Oh, you can already see the Slenderman is, jumping around. He's not looking towards us though, and I wonder why. Oh, and then our static actually stopped playing because we need it to loop in that video player, just like that. I am going to change the volume all the way down because we do have another sound effect for the Slenderman. And that sound effect is actually going to go right on top of the static. And now we have that. We just want to confirm that looping is turned off because it's not going to loop. And now what we need to do is go into our Slenderman, static object, click and drag that static in. And then what we need to do is actually bring the Slenderman outside the map. So the home base pretty much, I'm just going to bring him outside the map, like over here. So that way, if the player's looking out into the woods, he might be able to still see him, but he's not chasing, he's just watching you. We're going to turn the chase probability all the way up, and I'll actually change his teleport cooldown to, say, 10. So that way I have some time to actually walk up to him and make sure the static is working properly. So if I'm correct, yes, he's standing over there right now, out into the woods. Oh, see, he just teleported towards us. He's not looking in our direction though, so we're gonna have to fix that in a second here. Come on, I need you to teleport, okay. So if we go up to him, if he's too close, the static starts playing. So obviously 5 is a little too little. So we're gonna actually bump that up a little bit. We'll do teleport distance to 20, and then our static activation, we're gonna do that to say, let's do 12. I think 12 is good, so that way when he teleports to 20, he's not necessarily giving us any damage yet. So after some debugging, I actually found out that the Slenderman model is a little messed up with the rotation script. So we're actually gonna fix this by adding an empty game object, calling this the Slenderman, right? We're gonna actually add that game object, the empty game object, to the Slenderman, or the Slenderman inside of it. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to put the empty game object that's called Slenderman at his foot base, and then I'm gonna put the Slenderman inside of it, and I'm going to make him look at the player. Because right now he's looking off to the side, which is not what we want. So I'm going to rotate him so that way he's already looking towards the player, which my player is over there somewhere. So now what we need to do, from the Slenderman, the actual game object where we added the Slenderman AI, let's copy component and remove it. And then the empty game object, that's the object we set towards his feet, let's paste component as new. So that way everything is still set up from the script, but now when we play, the Slenderman should be always looking towards our direction, which you could see him out there. He is rotating towards us. So let's wait for, oh wow, you spawned right on top of me. But now he's looking in our direction at all times. Even if I run around him, he is going to just keep on doing his thing, like the Slenderman does. And you can already see this AI working pretty well. So now if I run over here, he teleported over there, and he's just gonna follow us through this whole map. Oh, you can hear his little teleport sound. I don't know where he is. And that's why I really like this script that I've made. It's very random to where he's going to spawn. I don't even know where he is right now. Honestly, this AI has a mind of his own, which adds a lot to that creep factor, you know? Oh, there he is, right behind the tree. Just chilling. And that is going to be about the end of how we actually create the Slenderman AI inside of Unity. The next coming tutorials, we're going to be actually looking at how to have the Slenderman kill us. We're going to be looking at how to finish the game, finishing touches, main menu, all that good stuff. So if you guys want to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss those, I'd highly appreciate it. And like I said earlier, the rest of these tutorials have been linked in the description, along with our Discord, my Patreon, and the Google Drive, where you can find everything in this video and every video on this channel. With all that being said, my friends, this is User One Productions signing off for now. Peace.